episode 140, and welcome into the Benches Cleared podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who went 4-2 this week and are a good team.
And I'm David Contreras, representing your Los Angeles Dodgers, who went into New York to go over the stadium and then proceeded to take the series away from the Yankees. So we'll get into that.
They're not my Dodgers. How dare you?
They're everybody's Dodgers. Come on.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, apparently because I got updates for every single time someone farted in that game. And I get it. It's the two, like, cash cow franchises. I understand why they do it. But I still don't have to like it, okay? I still don't have to.
Why are you so salty about it?
Because I don't want to hear about it.
It was a very good matchup, potentially a World Series matchup that every Dodger fan and every Dodger hater would love to watch.
I would not watch that World Series. Well, that's not true. I mean, I watch every World Series, but I would hate it.
So. You just want both teams to lose. So
exactly. Yeah, I'd be Googling on how both teams
would be possible for both teams to
lose. Be a good time. I feel like, I mean, there's something. The thing is when we talk about around the league, I never want to just echo what other people say. Like, I feel like there are some things around the league, but I feel like there's nothing really much to add to it. Like, you know, we could talk about like the London series, but at the end of the day, do we have anything crazy about the London series?
Not really.
No,
I mean, it's cool that they're trying to, get a new audience or but it's just a novelty. It's not really going to be like. They're not going to really get into it. If they want to do something, end the blackouts, man. Let your own fans watch the games. Do something here.
I love that you segued into that, because that's the thing too. Like, I just don't want to. I feel like it's cool. The London series is really cool, and you try to get more fans out there, and I'm sure they did that. But man, I just don't want to just echo, like, talk about something just to talk about it, unless we have like a hot take on it, or you just want to talk because something was cool, whatever. But that is true. I mean, it's crazy that you're not getting, like, for instance, the Yankees and Dodgers series. If it was that big, imagine if they just let everyone watch that for free. Just that series. Or even just one game.
Well, what did it say? It was like 2.9. It was a crazy number that it broke a record for a Saturday game or something like that. Right. But, I mean, everybody was watching. So, I mean.
Yeah, and imagine.
If even more people had access to it.
Exactly.
Would be,
Yeah. Like, even if it was like, hey, last game, are the Dodgers going to sweep, or are the, are the Yankees going to salvage one and let everyone watch just one game? That would create so much more buzz. Then you get to see just forever Giant Aaron Judge just knocking home runs against Trent Grisham, just Dodger killer, that sort of thing.
In a lineup with Aaron Judge and and who do they have right now? Just Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge. Well, Anthony Volpe.
Aaron Judge and Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge and Aaron Judge. I did see a picture where it was like Mookie was like laughing with Alex Verdugo, and then Kike Hernandez was in it too. And it was like, dude, Boston fans seeing that right now is probably just on fire.
Yeah, I saw the same one. It's pretty funny. But
let's talk about it. Let's talk about your
let's talk
series.
A little bit about that series, because
you could talk all the way about it. We kept hearing about it, so it must have been the greatest thing in the world. So, what happened in New York?
I mean, first of all, it was hyped up to as much as they possibly could.
Right.
And then, what was it? A game before the series started, Juan Soto got injured, or they realized that he was injured or something. But,
right.
He obviously ducked the Dodgers because suddenly he was back after they were gone. Whatever. Either way, they still, that the matchup was really fun. It seemed like everybody was like amped up, no matter who it was. If it was the last guy on the bench or if it was the first guy coming out of the bullpen, Everything was just, you know, felt like playoff atmosphere, even though in reality it didn't mean anything. The
Right.
series ended, didn't mean anything, and but it was really exciting for the fans, and the games were, at least the first and the last, were really exciting. That middle one where the Dodgers blew it open, that was fun to watch because Teoscar, man, he went off. He owned New York, the city,
Right.
for at least 2 nights. He had what, like 3 home runs, 12 RBIs or something like that. And the pitching was great. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, like everything the Yankees wanted to see, he gave it to them. They wanted to see him pitch well on Yankee Stadium. He did it. He pitched well under the bright lights. So it
Right.
was
Right.
and Gavin Stone, man, once again, Gavin Stone is just exceeding so many expectations. So yeah, it was a fun series. They took 2 out of 3. I
Yeah.
won't talk about I won't talk about that last one with the freaking Dodger killer, that the worst hitter in their lineup. But whatever.
Episode 140, also Trent Christian's batting average, but yeah, it's always kind of funny. Like, there's just that one guy, and when they get out of the division and they go somewhere else, it's still like things just don't change. So that was pretty funny and sweet to hear, especially with the you heard the everyone was chanting at him, "We want Soto," when he was up, and then he cracks that that huge home run. Then the next time he's up, they pump him up. I don't know. I don't want to make that a big thing either because I feel like that's like a shitty fan thing to do, is like talk shit to your players while they're like on your team. Like, I feel like booing your own players is so trashy, and like talking shit to your own players, you know, it's just like it's something that like Philly and New York, they're so proud of, like it's like the greatest thing in the world to do, but it's just like, I don't know, like I feel like that's so shitty.
I don't know, man, because apparently some players like it. Who was it? Maben, who was like, "Oh yeah, I played under this pressure, and they tell you to, do this and that." And
I'm sorry. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. I am gonna call such big bullshit. Everyone in New York and everyone in Philly say, "Oh, I love being booed." It's great, But like, you have to say that. If they were like, "Yeah, I don't like being booed," everyone's gonna talk. They're gonna boo him harder, and they're gonna talk shit about him like they're a pussy. Like, that's a no-win scenario. The only time I believe it when someone says they like to get booed is like if they're at like an opposing team stadium and their fans are booing him, because you don't boo someone you don't like feel threatened by.
yeah, I mean, if you're playing badly, you're not like, "Oh yeah, I appreciate that they're letting me know that I'm playing bad." I don't think that's the case.
It's just weird that like that strokes your ego. Like, every single time like a Yankees player gets interviewed on, like, "Oh, did you hear the boos?" And they have to be like, "Our fans are smart. They know when you're not playing great baseball, and or I deserved it. I deserve all the hate in the world." And you take pride in that. Like, that's just so weird to me.
Well, I mean, the guy that hit the big shot, Grisham, they were
Right.
chanting, "We want Soto."
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
you
Like,
can't get more disrespectful than that.
yeah, like I mean, it's a cool, I'm sure it was a cool moment for him, to hit that home run when they're chanting for him. But at the same time, I find it funny that that's like a point of like pride for Yankees and like Phillies, and you know, I don't know. Like, we're so tough on our guys. How about just not being a dick? I don't know. I know you're not supposed to tell people how to fan, but whatever, I don't care. I'm gonna tell you how to
Man,
fan. Don't be a
you
dick.
know, however they fan, they fan. If the players really like it, then they like it. Whatever. It's, to each their own, I guess.
They don't like it. Don't be a dick. That's my tagline. Let's talk about some Giants, man. We'll go a series at a time. So the first series was against the Rangers. Took 2 out of 3 from Bruce Bochy's struggling Rangers. Wilmer had a couple of home runs. Heliot Ramos was really hot for that series too. Um, I think the hard part of the Giants right now, obviously, it's the offense is very inconsistent, and I mean, I feel like you're always going to get that with San Francisco offenses. Like, I don't know. I feel like they're built that way because they have to be. Um, but the bigger problem is the fourth and fifth spot, the rotation right now. Um, Keaton Wynn just got back. It was his first start back. He got his ass kicked, 7 earned runs, but I believe in him. I love me some Keaton Wynn, so I hope it's gonna turn around. It was just his first start. They didn't let him do any rehabs because they needed him back because of Blake Snell going on the IL, but that's always a big problem, and we'll hope. Robbie Ray is supposed to be coming back soon. He's looking good. Alex Cobb just keeps on getting pushed back. Apparently he's coming back soon too, but you never know. Every single time you hear something with Alex Cobb, it's they're actually going to push him back because this went wrong, that went wrong. So I feel like that's going to be one of our Cole Hamels things this year where he just never pitches.
Who did we have like that? I think the Dodgers had like Danny Duffy one time. Like, oh yeah, he looks like he's progressing.
Yeah, for 2 years, he did that to him,
and like, oh yeah, now he signed with somebody else. Like, what?
If I'm not mistaken, I think the Dodgers even had Cole Hamels and they did that to him.
Well, yeah, but Cole Hamels was like he went for like a tryout at Dodger Stadium or something. Like he pitched the bullpen or something, and I guess they had to come to terms, and then he's like, oh no, he's retiring. So he just pretty much stole some money.
Yeah, that's him. That's Cole Hamels. He would get the $1 million just to train to maybe come back. Like that'd be awesome. Like it's almost like you're getting paid $1 million for a gym membership. Just to stay in shape. That'd be nice.
Who was that other guy? Keuchel, Dallas Keuchel. I remember him trying to make many comebacks. Wasn't he on a team this year though? I think he actually made it.
I want to say the Twins, but I think that was actually last year. I don't know if he's with anyone this year. Right. But yeah, is what it is. I mean, we just talked about Bruce Bochy's Rangers. What's going on with the Rangers over there? And you guys are at home playing the Rangers?
Yeah, they finally got home. So they played the Rangers last night.
Mm-hmm.
Who started for us last night? I forget. Paxton. There you go.
Yeah, I'm a smart guy. I know.
Yeah, man. And then they just went off. Will Smith homered, and then it was the sixth inning where they had 4 home runs, and they just they ended the game then and there. 4 home runs in an inning. It was crazy, and so naturally, I expected them to not score anything today, or maybe score 1 run. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But
what
we got 2 more games with the Rangers.
What are they in right now?
They're in middle innings, 5th or something like that.
What's the score?
Yeah, last time I checked, it was 1-0, so I need to check it right now.
We will reporting to you live from
reporting live.
Yeah. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Maybe we'll find out by the end of the episode. I don't know. We like to talk. We might be talking for 4 more hours. Who knows? Probably not. But
there is some breaking news, minor breaking news. Dodgers made a trade.
They made a trade.
They picked up. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. What is it?
Cavan Biggio. I think so.
Yeah.
He's a white guy. It's probably pretty. It's probably just how it sounds.
Yeah. And so they sent down Miguel Vargas. Was not too happy about it. But he doesn't really have a position to play. It's not like he can play third himself. And he did make a couple of errors. He didn't look too good out there in the outfield. So I understand it. But then it's like you have Chris Taylor there, man. Like he's just
don't believe in him.
He's just holding a roster spot hostage right now because I get it. He's whatever 22, whatever it is, over the next 2 years, and it's like I get it, but just feel like at some point if he doesn't respond, you gotta cut him, man. You gotta let
right.
So I don't know, but hopefully this helps the defense because it was struggling over there at third without Muncy. So we'll see.
It was struggling without Muncy?
Hey, Muncy was actually playing pretty well at third over there this year. So I actually miss his defense.
That is a strange thing to hear. Would not expect that. But hey, I think Cavan Biggio, like he can play all over the field too, if I'm not mistaken. Can he play some short?
I think he plays some short, some third. I think that's where he's starting today. He started at third. And I think he came up as a second baseman, right?
I thought I feel like there's a lot of teams where like everyone is like a shortstop and then they'll move them to like the third or the second and that sort of thing.
it's the easiest position to grab because he's the most athletic, and from there, he just it's easier to learn
Right.
every other position for them.
Right. So
I mean, you look at Tatis, he moved on to right field. He's pretty good. So
yeah, and then I think Biggio was there. He was supposed to be like one of the cornerstones of the Blue Jays when he came up. It was like, the sons of the former major
yeah, it
leaguers,
was the big three. I
the
remember
big
that.
three, and they were supposed to be like the shit. And it seems, I guess, like Cavan is just he's not. I mean, like when you don't watch the teams, you just hear like if to hear that he got DFA'd, I was extremely shocked, and I was like, I thought he was a dude, and then you look at his numbers, and I was like, oh shit, he was not a dude. He was one of those supposed to be a dudes, but he's not a dude.
Exactly. And then I think they were
Keenan
all
and Kel.
struggling. Like lately, right now, they're all struggling, right? I think Bo was struggling and Guerrero was struggling. So that's
Right,
a
and
team
I
that might
think
sell.
right, and also I just feel like um I'm sure in the next couple weeks we'll start talking, trade talk season and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to Bo Bichette, I know he's a lot more proven and he's just not having a good season right now. And it's like, are you going to give up shit to get this guy when, you know, you have certain people producing and just relying on the name? I don't know. I mean, we'll talk about that later. I'm not sure if a shortstop is on your guys' radar. I think they were, right? Because they would kind of want to put Mookie back to second or to back to right.
Yeah, I don't think it's really working out with Mookie at short as much as
Right.
they wanted it to. So
Yeah, we're in the same boat, but it's like I don't know, man. I feel like right now Wisely is doing pretty good, and I feel like if you look at Biggio's numbers right now, it's pretty close. And then I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid, but I just feel like that name is going to command more than it's going to be worth.
wait, you said Biggio, but you're talking about Bichette, right? Bichette?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like his name is going to be more pull than it's going to be worth.
I mean, well, you've seen what he could do, so just based off that, they're obviously gonna, he's still young, but I mean, you only get one. Well, you get the rest of this year and then next year, right? Before he's a free agent.
I thought he was a free agent this year. Well,
I
it's coming
think,
up off season.
yeah, the next one, I think.
Like
So
you
I
just
think
like
it's
I think he's a rental. Like he's a free agent this next year.
no, I think he still has a year, I believe.
Really? That's
I thought
interesting.
so. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, we might. I'll double check that. But well, let's talk some. There's still more baseball to talk about, Dave.
Yeah. Of course,
We're
of
gonna talk
course.
about some Astros and Giants because they're two of your favorite teams. But I'm gonna talk about them. I know you really want to, but I called it, and that's dibs. That's kind of the way things
Hey,
go.
listen, man, I was just hoping both teams would have a really bad time and
Mm-hmm.
they go on into extras for eternity, and then eventually they just call it and nobody wins. That I think that's everybody would be happy with that outcome. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of one of those weird things too because Giants took 2 out of 3, and usually it's like, oh my gosh, the Astros, that's a huge win, but they're also now 7 games under 500, had a pretty shitty season. But I don't know. I also wouldn't be shocked if um if the Astros end up winning the NL West this year. Like just that name is
That would be
just.
a miracle if they won the NL West.
Did I say NL? That's the thing. Thank you so much. There's been just so many catastrophes that can happen. I'm really glad that you catch and you actually listen to words because I know what I'm trying to say, but my words don't match what I know. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're trying to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the AL West is the division they're in. Um, they actually used to be in was it the Central they were in just a couple years ago? Whatever. And then they switched to I think because they weren't in the West, so yeah, I guess they were in the Central. But whatever, doesn't matter. All right, they're gonna win. It wouldn't shock me. Like I feel like I don't know. It's not like you look of another team that is probably has. I mean, the Pirates have a better record than them right now, and I would consider I would be more worried to play the Astros than the Pirates. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of.
Wait, are you talking about in the postseason?
No, I'm just saying like I think that they're still a better team, even though they haven't been this year so far. I think they're going to eventually be the better team record wise when we get later in the season.
Well, I
So,
mean, if you're facing the Pirates and you're only facing 3, 2, 3, 4, or 5, then sure. But if you're facing Skeens or Jones, I think you're in for a rough time.
but their bullpen's bad, and those guys are only going to pitch like 5 innings. Their
Yeah,
offense is shot. I don't know.
I don't
I
know,
don't
man. These
know.
Astros are not. I think they've been good for so long that you
Right.
just have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I understand that,
Right.
but this team just looks bad. I think. I mean, I haven't really watched them, but
Right.
every time I look, it's a highlight of them getting somebody hitting a home run off of them, or them losing, or
Right.
So
I guess the real question is we're in that weird stage of it's early, but it's not that early anymore. It's not like we're halfway through the season. We're like in that weird area where it's like, well, do we believe what's happened so far, or do we believe track record? Because it can go either way. When it comes to this time of the year. Once you're like halfway through the year, or even a little bit past that, you're like, okay, well, this is either a bad year from this player, or it's a bad year for this team, and you can believe it. But when you're at this point, I think it's like the weird, like, what do we believe type shit.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, yeah, because you always hear like, oh, this team hasn't gotten going yet, and it's like, wait, but we're pretty far into the season. How long for to
yeah,
get going? And like I heard that about the Braves, and it's like, no, they're just missing a lot of people. I don't think they're gonna get going as much as like they're hurting.
that's true. But I feel like the Braves always trade for dudes. So, and the Astros have had a history of trading for dudes too. So I guess you can't really discount that either. But at the same time, it's also important who's in your division, who's in your league, because if they were in the National League, that wild card's a little bit more wide open. You can believe, hey, we just go on a quick little run, we're back in it, because you would be. Um, but at the same time, the AL West is not exactly a bunch of juggernauts either. Um,
Yeah.
but I
Well,
mean, just getting into the games though, I do know what you mean when you're talking about when you do see the Astros. It's someone owning them. It's because in game one, the Giants should not have won that game. In extra innings, they were up by 2, I believe. The Astros were able to score a couple runs with that extra runner on, and it seemed pretty bleak. But misplayed balls, just walks, and it seems like right when they were about to get out of it, the Astros really wanted the Giants to win this game, and they gave it away. Harrison did look really good. In game two they lost, didn't really have any answers for Blanco, and I have a weird. We could talk about Jordan Hicks in a little bit. Yeah, because in game three, and Austin Slater today had three hits, which we'll talk about him later as well. But I don't know. I feel this weird thing about the starting rotation. Jordan Hicks. I'm a really big fan of Jordan Hicks, and I don't think it's his fault. I understand he was a reliever, and you got to protect him. Oh, the guy was 1 out from getting out of a jam, and this guy's going 4 2/3, and he was at like 77 pitches. It's like, why can't you just try to let him get the last out? Like, we gotta at some point you gotta protect your bullpen in a long season. Um, the Giants are struggling with their fourth and fifth starters. The only guy going deep into games right now is Logan Webb. Um, so I don't know. I feel like at that point you gotta let Hicks try to figure it out and try to get some outs. I understand you can't leave him out to dry. He's over 100 pitches, or it's the sixth or seventh inning, whatever. But if it's still pretty early and he's only got, he's under 80 pitches, I think you try to let him finish the inning. This
Yeah.
bullpen's going to get taxed as shit. So that's just my weird take on that.
That's yeah. I mean, we know how to manage better from the couches. So there needs to
That's
be a
true.
there needs to be a phone that goes directly to the dugout from our couch,
Hmm.
each our own couch. And whenever we want to call Roberts or whenever we want to call Melvin, like, hey buddy, I don't think this is the move.
But I get it, like I get it, right? They everyone I mean everyone in the office knows more than me. I get it. But at the same time, I don't know. Like isn't that kind of weird like if you have no starters that are going deep into games, don't you want to like I don't know, save your bullpen's arms for the rest of the freaking season? Like why do we have to take out guys in the fourth fucking inning? Like I don't know. That's a little crazy to me.
I don't know, man. I think maybe he just wants to, I don't know, win games. I don't know. I don't know if he wants to get a better chance. Like, I'm thinking like if it's the
He
Dodgers,
just wants to win games.
like if it's the Dodgers, you have the ability to, like, somebody's struggling, not going deep. Like, you're like, all right, we got a big division lead. We can mess around and let people struggle and whatever.
Right,
But like
right.
when you're looking at the Giants, Padres, all these like teams in the middle, like
Mid teams.
every game kind of counts. They're like, playing hot potato with the freaking playoff spot because they go up and down. But
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like everything counts. So like maybe he's going all out in these games. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just who
So
knows.
early. I don't know. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I get it. Um, Speaking of managers, I mean, with the Astros coming back, it's the first time Mauricio Dubon came back. And he had a little bit of a revenge game in game two. He got things started, I believe, in game one too, where he almost had a couple big hits, but ended up not meaning anything. But he did make a comment, speaking of managers, about how much he hated Gabe Kapler. So that's a thing. He made some comments last year that was like, I didn't get treated well over there, and I really wanted to win against them. And the media kind of, and I think fans too. I think we kind of took it as personal or maybe against some players. But this year he kind of clarified that it was about one dude, and that all the players knew who he was talking about, and it was pretty obvious that he was talking about Gabe Kapler. I don't even know if he actually said Gabe Kapler's name. I think he might have. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But it made it pretty clear that he was talking about Gabe Kapler for not playing him as much as he felt like he should have. But I don't know.
Listen, man, Gabe Kapler was too busy taking selfies, putting up TikToks to have to deal with any of the, whatever Dubon wanted. It was
Mm-hmm.
what Kapler wanted first,
And I agree
uploading
with you.
those
They're super
weird,
cringy,
cringy
right?
TikToks.
Right, right. They're super cringy. But hey, when you're the hottest manager in baseball, or in this instance, the hottest assistant GM in baseball, sometimes you just gotta try on some suits and put it on TikTok. I guess I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Like,
But
hey man, Friedman's on the phone for you. He's trying to, get a player. He's like, oh, hold on. I need to finish this video. I'm almost done editing it. Hold on. Like, all right.
but and this is where I get a little like because I heard this so much from old dudes in San Francisco. Old dude Twitter, old dude KBR radio, they would talk shit about him making he would make videos about the best burger in San Francisco and the best food and this and this and that. And I get it. It's low hanging fruit and you're going to make fun of it. I get it. But at the same time, the argument that people make online, I don't know how serious it is, of, oh my gosh, like this team sucks and he has time to do this. Yeah, I mean, you have plenty of time during the day. You can't make someone hit the baseball as a coach. You can't make someone, you know, uh, pitch well when you're a GM. I mean, you kind of are betting on guys and you're trusting your coaches or, whatever. But it's like, I don't know, to make what I'm trying to say is the videos he makes probably take about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes to make. What do you
Is that
expect
what
that
you
he,
think? No, man.
I think so.
This guy sets up the light. This guy checks himself in the mirror at least 20 times before he
Right.
does it. He takes a practice video. I mean, this guy, he's got to find the right
Okay.
song,
I don't know
right?
because I'll be honest with you. Well, we're at the moment, spoiler alert, we're doing some content right now. So, for instance, I was in a meeting taking a dump. 5 minutes before we started, and then it took me 5 minutes to set up the light and everything. So I think it does take about 15 minutes to make that quick little video.
I don't know. Regardless, I think it's hilarious. I think
Right?
when your
Yes.
team is
Right.
I think if your team is struggling, maybe you try to stay away from doing that to anger the fans.
That's
But
true. Right.
it's what I mean. If your team's doing winning cures everything, and if you're
Yeah.
doing videos when you're winning, it's funny. It's whatever. But when you're losing, there anything is gonna piss you off.
Right. I mean, his inspirational quotes are pretty funny. So maybe like when they're winning again, he can just get back on his inspirational quote game. I'm not sure if you saw the last one that I saw was like him talking about, you know, if you're about to walk somewhere or drive somewhere and you Google it and it says that's going to take 10 minutes to walk, it might not take that long if you just walk faster. Inspiration. Maybe he should tell the Marlins that, and then they'll just be good. All of a sudden, Jazz Chisholm, he's going to be not sleeping during games and shit.
And all the ladies in the comments like, "Oh my god, yeah, that's true. That's true. I should walk faster.
I should be walking faster.
Yeah."
Oh
But
man. Well, I
whatever.
mean,
Hey, before we move on from this series, we had somebody come back to the NL West who left, and I had put out a tweet saying that these two guys were perhaps the most disappointing free agents pickups this year.
okay.
And I'm referring to Josh Hader and Blake Snell. What are your thoughts?
Josh Hader. I'll be honest with you. I've only seen Josh Hader be good this year, so I've not kept up with Josh Hader. I didn't know he was bad this year, so
To
that
be
is
fair,
shocking.
I only kept up with it at the beginning, and when he was like giving up multiple, ruining multiple saves and stuff, and giving up
Okay.
bombs. I haven't checked since, but the last time I checked was he got walked off, so I was like, oh, okay, he's still doing the same thing then. And then I
Maybe.
realized that Blake Snell is still, visiting the IL. So I was
Right.
like,
So
he
at the
might not
moment,
be.
I will give you that for Blake Snell because at the moment, yes, I still think that he's going to. Because here's the thing: if he is on the team during down the stretch, helps the team get to the postseason, and wins a postseason game, I think that's. I wouldn't count that as the worst free agent signing.
Would you pay him again then? If let's say he comes back and does that, just he pitches well, you
Right.
guys, whatever, you win a playoff game,
Win the World
whatever.
Series. Okay. Um,
You win a game, you go, that's it. But is that enough for you to be like, oh yeah, we need to pay this guy again more so he can stay longer?
more and see he was 31, so he'd be going like 32, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
That
Um,
is the number that comes out after 31, I believe. Yeah,
let me check your math on that really quick. Um,
it checks out.
well, like another short-term deal, or are we talking like 5 years?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd assume he's looking for something long, right?
Yeah, but if he has that year, I don't think that would constitute him getting like a 5 year deal. I mean, Kevin Gosman came off of a pretty good year to get a 5 year deal. Robbie Ray came off of a Cy Young award to get a 5 year deal. I mean, if it was like a 2 or 3 year deal, I'd sign up for it.
All right.
Because
Yeah,
I mean,
it all depends
it
on
would
what
be
he
a
does.
bad year, so a Cy Young year is coming the next year or two.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's not out for the season, he still has a chance to come back and show something. But
Right,
so far,
right.
I still think it's pretty disappointing. I mean, I love it.
So far,
Not for my team.
100%. Right, right. So in your eyes, probably one of the best offseason signings.
I love it, man. Make them all like that, please.
Josh Hader's ERA is about 4. He's
Is that good?
uh no. Not that good. He's got 9 saves. Um let's see, almost 30 innings and 46 strikeouts. So ERA plus is at 99. It's the average, pretty much. FIP is at 280 though. So that means he's hitting into some bad luck. Looks like he's getting into a lot of bad luck. And his whip is really low. So, I don't think Josh Hader's really that bad right now. I think he's probably gonna have probably be part of that Astros comeback I was talking about. But right now, yes, Blake Snell's probably the worst free agent signing of the year as of right now. Like if he was out for the rest of the year, yeah, that's 31 million, not even wasted, but you put it toward against yourself. So, yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Wait, no problem. I'll bring it up
Thought I was
next
having,
time too.
I thought I was
I'll
having,
find a way.
thought I was having a good freaking day, dude. And you're just gonna
Hey,
made a nice
and
dinner. Things came out really good. My Traeger was just came out perfect, you know. And then you just come over here and just with that bullshit.
hey, man, and then speaking of like free agents, he also has Soto,
Okay.
and he's just gonna use that Dodger series and be like, hey, that's how much you need me.
Exactly.
Like you guys could not score without me.
Yeah,
Those,
and
those,
he batted like 500 in that series against us too. So Soda, you can hit at Oracle, baby. Come on over, dude.
that's gonna be an interesting one to watch, man. I'm really curious to see where he signs, but I mean, I guess we'll talk about that when it
Well,
gets to the time. But
unfortunately I've seen this movie one or two times where Soto is it's between the Giants and the whoever the other team is, and the Giants will be say, "Oh, he was about to sign the dots," and then Steinbrenner called him and said, "We'll match it," and he went back to New York. That's probably what's going to happen.
I just feel like
Yeah.
he's really gonna go to the highest bidder. He's not really looking for like. I mean, maybe I would take the Mets out of it because they're so dysfunctional. But I do think like if you guys offered him what he wants, I don't think he'd say no.
500 million, dude. Just oh no, he already turned down 500 million, didn't he?
Yeah,
600 million,
five
6 mil,
fifty maybe,
huh?
550 maybe. I don't know.
Maybe five. Well, because I think he was offered 5 mil when it also included um
Deferrals and stuff.
the two no the 2 years the 2 or 3 years. I think it was from the Nationals. They offered him like 500 grand 500 million when it still included like 3 years of like team
Or,
control.
oh, okay.
So technically he's made I think like maybe like 20 for like 50 60 million since then. So
Yeah.
technically 500 million would be an upgrade to
Yeah, I
that
didn't see
offer.
him. I didn't even think he was gonna get traded. Maybe until the deadline if they weren't
Right.
out of it. That's crazy. But yeah, at least he's out of the NL West.
But it's cool. He'll be back. Not really. Come on, who are we fucking kidding? But let's go to a next the next segment of the show, Dave, because we're gonna talk so much Juan Soto, you're gonna get effing sick of it. So let's talk studs and duds, huh?
Let's do it.
Get it.
It's that time again. It's the start of the dud of the week. It's the start of the dud of the week.
So studs and duds. We are here to talk about a dud first because I want to get it over with. Okay, because I love this guy. I'm not going to pick on the weak calf and pick someone who hasn't played. I'm going to pick Tyler Estrada. He's in this lineup every single day. And he's just not cutting it right now. I mean, the at bats don't look good. He's hitting 200 right now. His offense is, his defense is pretty good. I think the metrics really like him. But he's also playing second base. You can't really hang your hat too much on it. And I think he's better than that. I just found out today, I was today years old to find out he's tied for the most home runs on the team. I did not realize that until we talked before the podcast started. But I'm going to need him to turn it up. It's going to happen. Tyler Estrada is going to get on fire. Next week, he's going to kill the Angels. Mark my words.
Good luck with that. I mean, it's not hard to do. It's the Angels, man. Like, if you do it, it's whoopee. Yeah.
Well, call me a whoopee cushion, all right? Because that's what I want.
All right, man. So that's
Working on
your
my dad
stud?
jokes. Working on my dad jokes. My stud. We want to go. You want to do all my guys?
Wait,
I'll
wait, wait.
do it.
That was
That's
your
fine.
dud, right?
That was my dud. So we could talk
Okay,
studs,
okay,
and I'm
okay.
going to talk about a guy, who has gotten a lot of shit this year. I've given him shit. The entire world has given Zion's entire Giants world has given him shit.
That's a
Some
lot
of it
shit to
deserved.
carry.
Yeah. Some of it deserved. I'm not going to lie to you. But I also said is it last week or the week before? I believe it was the week before when Matos went down for this guy. I was like, listen, I would be 100% down to let Matos, struggle and figure it out up here. But at the same time, you're not going to DFA Austin Slater, and he's been one of the best pitch, and his track record says he's one of the best pinch hitters in baseball. He destroys lefties. I think you gotta give him playing time. You gotta give him a spot back right now, and that's exactly what's happening. He's killing it. As of before today, because Baseball Reference doesn't update till tomorrow, but he's hitting 375 with an 819 OPS, and he had 3 more hits today. So if you're doing the math correctly, he's hitting 500. Don't know how to calculate OPS, so I'm gonna wait till tomorrow for Baseball Reference to update that. But it shouldn't really bring it up too much because there were 3 singles, but important singles. He had a 2-run single, so. Austin Slater, killing it. He's back to his old self. He's the man. Smart dude. Austin Slater. Goated.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, I'm gonna go with let's go with the studs first.
Okay.
The guy who has been
Let's start high and go
fire
down
for
low.
for the last week, man. Last 7 games, 5 home runs, 10 hits, 7 runs, 12 RBIs. Talking about the one and only Teoscar Hernandez. I can't believe the league let us get him. Like, nobody else offered him anything. He came to us.
This guy hits like
he
8 for you
here.
guys.
I get it. And he wants to stay here, which he said that already, that he
right.
would love to stay here. And we would love to keep
What
him.
does he hit? He hits like 8th, doesn't he?
He hits 6th. Yeah.
Fuck off, Jackie.
So definitely the stud of the week. Went into New York, man, and just hung nuts on them. Like, hey, this is my stadium.
Dropping dick. I love that.
So
I mean,
definitely the stud of the week. I hope he continues it. He got the player of the week honors. And for my dud, I'm gonna go with the Dodgers defense, man.
Okay.
Especially this last week has been a little bit iffy. They've had Kike play third base. He's made a couple of errors there. They had Vargas in left field. He made an error there, not helping his pitcher. Mookie has not been what we wanted or what we hoped so far. We know that he's just learning it, and it's on the fly. But still, man, some of these throws are not great. So not helping your pitcher. It's yeah, man, get it together.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get it together for this the rest of this series with the Rangers and for the rest of the season, man. Because help
get
out
it together
pitchers.
or don't.
No, get it together. Get it together. I mean, Cavan Biggio, hopefully he helps a little bit at third. I don't think he's the answer, but at least he has some time there, so should help.
Placeholder for Max Muncy, maybe.
Maximilius Muncy hopefully comes back, man. Oblique injuries are never like easy. It's just resting and hoping it gets better. Apparently, he's not progressing as fast as they wanted to, so it might be a while before we see him again.
Oblique injuries is something that I know a lot about. I'll be honest with you. If you put a gun to my head and told me, what's an oblique, Jesse? Shoot me. I don't even know what an oblique is.
Why is that the option?
I don't know.
You just said they had a gun to your head. They didn't say that you had to, He was just threatening you. He just wants to know. You don't know. You don't know. Like,
that's
hey man,
yes.
I don't know, shoot me.
In this hypothetical scenario, the guy with the gun would just be like, "Oh, you don't know? All right, I'm not going to kill you. I just wanted to see if you knew." But learn what an oblique is.
Now you get to live with the fact that I know that you don't know.
Think about that, idiot. Yeah, I guess so. I figured if you had a gun to my head and I don't know what an oblique was, that probably means you're gonna die. Do you know what an oblique is?
It's somewhere in your body.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I like that.
What does an oblique do?
Yeah, like when I think of oblique, I think pec, but I don't think that's. I think a pec is a pec. So we'll Google it. Well, we'll get smarter by the next time that we do this podcast. And
we can try.
Yeah.
We can try to get smarter.
We will get older. I can promise you that. Yes, let's talk about next. Well, There's also we were talking a little bit. There's some shit. I wanted to give some a player some love on my stud and dud because I don't know what's going on with Giants Twitter and Giants fans and what is wrong with you and how like how you got like so much amnesia. But I've been hearing so much how Camilo Doval is actually trash and how he's not good anymore because his whip is 1.5, and that's bad. That's bad to have a whip that high. And I get it. You get runners on. I mean, you're more likely to, a single pops in to bring him in. I understand. But to talk about one of the best closers in baseball, like he's trash, is a huge jump. It is, I mean, like we said, it's not super early in the season, but it's also not a big sample size to really bank on it staying that way.
Like when it comes to closers, it's very like when they blow a save, it just sucks because you're this close to finishing the game. So whenever a closer loses the game, it's like, damn it, I just watched this whole thing and they just blew up at the end. And it just sucks. But
100%.
But you have to keep it in perspective because I remember with Kenley Jansen, it was always like that. And I always blew off the handles because like, oh my God, dude, this whole team does their job and you come in 3 outs and blow the whole thing. Right. And so, but then it's like, dude, he's a Hall of Fame maybe closer. Like,
right.
You gotta keep it in perspective sometimes.
100%, and that's what I'm saying. Like the thing is the Giants have been searching for a good closer ever since maybe I want to say Romo. They had really bad, a really bad closer situation in like 2016 to 2019. I want to say. And then I think Jake McGee was killing it for us a little bit in 2020 and 2021, but that's when Camilo Doval came. And I remember hearing Dodger fans bitch about, oh my gosh, Kenley, he can never just make it easy. He always has runners on and blah, blah. And I would be like, who
he didn't
fucking...
hold runners to this day? I don't even know if he still holds runners.
He doesn't. And yes,
you get
it's
on
a
base,
problem.
You have a double, maybe a triple if you're fast enough.
Right. Like, and... I get it. It's a problem. It's not something that you want, but at the same time, he gets the fucking saves. He gets the outs eventually. It doesn't make it easy, but he still gets them. And I would be like what? Why are you bitching? So the save is made. Who cares that 2 runners got on? He didn't allow any runs. You won the game. And yes, there's going to be it's really rare for a closer not to have any blown saves in the year. There's going to be at least 3 to 5. Like that's normal. That's a good season. And Camilo Doval has 2 pretty early, but it's like, I don't know, the disrespect that they had for my guy about how he's trash and he's washed, and good thing they didn't because they talked about an extension this offseason apparently, and good thing they didn't sign it because he's trash and he sucks. Well, this week, 3 for 3 in save opportunities, pitched 4 times, and had 4 runners total, so that's a whip of 1. That's just a good whip, and you struck out 4, struck out 5. Sorry,
you need him to be good. You guys are in a tight, NL wild card race, so you need him to not mess up a lot,
and he's good. So my thing is just stop crying, let it play out. He's gonna be good. He is good. Yes, it's annoying when he can't find the strike zone. It's annoying when he throws a slider 100 times when it's like, dude, you got 100-mile-an-hour fastball. If you just put that on the freaking corner like you do, they're not gonna hit it. So that gets frustrating, and I get it, and it's harder than it looks. I understand that, but quit bitching about Camilo Doval. He's not the problem. He's great.
The problem is that every player, no matter superstar or not, is going to go through a slump. The problem is that when closers go through a slump, it hurts more because it tends to lose the game.
Because you're ahead, right? You're already
to lose the game. It's not like, we still got a chance, but
right.
So I understand the pain, man. I understand the frustration. I'm not going to tell them how to fan, but
I will tell them how to fan.
I get it. So
I will tell them how to fan. I'm the guy who tells people how to fan. Stop bitching. You're going to be all right. Yes. We next week, Going next week, the Giants are playing the Angels, and then they are playing
Mid versus mid, guys. The battle of mid.
the mid-off.
The mid-off.
So they're playing the Angels, and then I forgot who they're playing the second one, which I will figure out in a second. Dave, who are the Dodgers playing next week?
I was just about to figure that out myself. I think we got the Royals.
Bench is Clear podcast. We're the most prepared podcast in the world.
We got the young, exciting Bobby Witt coming into town, and they're playing the Kansas City Royals.
Gotcha.
So they're finishing up with the Rangers today and tomorrow, and then they'll move on to the Royals. So it should be a fun couple of series. And
all right,
Corey, the old Dodger with the 3-run blast, man. You wanted an update? Dodgers are losing 3-1.
Oh,
it's like,
talk dirty to me.
I want to be mad. I want to be mad, but I'm just thankful for everything that Corey Seager did to us. And it's a regular season game, so it's like, all right, you got your shot. Now, can we just win? But you know. But even if we lose, whatever. Good for Corey.
I guess I don't know. I thought what's something called? He was out for the series.
No, he was
he in the IL or some shit?
Something with his hammy, but they thought he might miss the whole series, but he's DHing tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, he's there
just in time to hit a blast. Thankfully.
And then after that, you guys are playing the effing Rockies, so that should be pretty easy for you.
Yeah. Wait, no, I thought we were playing the Royals next.
No, after the Royals. So you got 2 series in the week.
Okay.
And so like I said, playing the Angels. Then we're going to Wrigley, which is who knows? Like with these mid-tier teams, you just don't know. You just don't know how it's gonna go. I guess you never know how it's gonna go, but at the same time, you expect certain things. I just don't know how mid the Central's mid is. Is that a thing? Is that what the kids say? I don't know how mid your mid is. But I feel like we should have another 4-2 week. Whether that be 1 series loss in a sweep or 2 series wins, I think a 4-2 week is in order. I think you should take advantage of the Angels and hopefully sweep them. And fuck it, win the series in Chicago too. That'd be great. That'd be more than 4-2, but I'm only going to bank in 4-2. That's
so for this next 6 games, we're going 4-2.
That's what I think so.
I think so too. I think the Dodgers playing the Rangers and then the Royals. I know the Royals are a young, hungry team, but I feel like they should.
Yeah, they're good. Really good year.
Every time we say that though, or I say that, they end up losing 2 out of 3. But I still think it's doable 4 out of 6. And then they move on to the Rockies and Angels, and we'll talk about that next week. But I think 4 and 6 is manageable, doable.
You're right. Now that you say that, every single time I hope for 500, the Giants win. So I hope for a 500 week, because I'll keep them in the wild card. So we're gonna bank on 500 because that's what I need to say.
It hasn't failed because I did say that the Yankees were going to demolish them, and then they ended up taking the series. So now that I'm saying 4 out of 6, I don't know. So 2 out of 6. 2 out of 6.
2 out of 6. I like that. One thing that did come out too. I know this is gonna be more for next week. But the Giants are doing the game in Birmingham. I don't know exactly what they're calling it, but it's like it's an homage to the Negro Leagues. I don't know if it's I don't know exactly what it's called, and I probably should know. I'm sorry for being unprepared, but it's going to be next week. Okay, so it's more. I'll have more information next week when it becomes that time. That will be the looking ahead for next week. But it did come out that Renelle Brooks Moon won Sacramento Woman of the Year, and she was honored for her activism and just being a good person. I mean, Renelle Brooks Moon is the shit. Everyone loves her, and she's going to be at that game. I would imagine that means she's going to be the PA announcer. Gosh, Giants, if you just want some good PR, it's so easy. They have rotating people doing it right now. It would be so easy just to be like, hey, you know what? She's back. And then Charles Johnson, you come out with just a dumbass statement every single time you open your mouth. Just think about just some good PR every once in a while. And, keep employing people that fans love. And that is just a great person.
Allergic to good PR, and we love it here.
It's it's a layup. It's like, are you going to endorse, chocolate milk or cigarettes? Like, what are we doing here?
Cigarettes, obviously, man. It's a no-brainer.
Like,
I'm lactose, so chocolate milk is just going to ruin me.
Yeah. Everybody loves chocolate milk. Or strawberry milk. All the milks. Actually, maybe not all the milks because I am lactose intolerant. Almond milk. It's delicious. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. It is what it is. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Now we're just rambling at this point.
We're just going on.
We're just talking about random milks and cigarettes. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe to us on your phone.
Awful combination, man.
Milk was a bad choice.
Puffing down some cigarettes and gulping down some milk. Ugh.
Oh gosh, like a 16-year-old's dream. They think it's the best thing because you're an adult now. You get to have cigarettes, but at the same time, you're a kid and you like to have chocolate milk. Don't do that though, kids. What you should do is subscribe to us so you can learn what not to do. And also on YouTube, your favorite podcasting platform. Follow us on Instagram, Benches Cleared Podcast, Twitter, Benches Cleared P, and TikTok, Benches Cleared. And that's all from us this week. Dave, what do you got?
Yeah, and we will see you guys next week. What did I just say? We'll see you again next week on the same channel, same platform, everything. We'll be right here.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.